Hello, and thank you for downloading this extra bonus content from the 9 Years podcast. I am Nick Draper. I am joined by George Jones and the face of the BBC Sport website, Mr. Stuart Deacons. And delighted to say, even if I can get my words out, joined by the newest arrival at FC Wimbledon in the first team is Ben Heneghan. Ben, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us.
No problem. Look forward to it.
First question we have to ask is about your move down south for the first time in your career, coming down from London. Born in Manchester, football career based mainly in the northwest, sometime in Scotland.
Yeah, a little brief spell in Scotland, yeah.
Yeah. What was behind your decision to move down south into that there London?
Well, basically, obviously, what's going on in the world at the minute, times have been hard for footballers. For everyone. But coming to an end of a contract, you kind of thought being a free agent, it'd almost work in your favour, but with what happened and stuff, it's kind of gone the other way. So I've had a bit of interest from a few clubs and had the opportunity to train with Wigan for a few weeks, which I suppose helps in the fitness side of things. Well, when I come down here, I had a good few chats with the manager who I've previously worked with. So it's always good to have like a familiar face, if you like. And yeah, he was just basically just giving me the vision of the club, the history, and just the way things are going, and just kind of like brought me in with it. And just, to be honest, I've been here a couple of weeks and I'm loving it.
Yeah, you have been here for 3 weeks, and you mentioned there sort of keeping fit in that period, not played it. When was the last time would you have played? Were you playing up until the lockdown was called back in March?
Yeah, so you're talking probably 8.5 months. So, yeah, apart from that 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks with Wigan, I was just doing my own thing. Road running, which can get too much.
Yeah.
It just becomes repetitive, and so I was just trying to freshen things up. I eventually basically bought myself a gym for my garage just to keep fit, which I'm thankful now that I did, because since playing these 3 games, I felt perfectly fine. So I was expecting to be a bit rusty, if you like, from not playing for that long, but I feel okay. But the more games I get, the sharper, fitter I will get, and that's when I can progress.
Yeah, you were saying, obviously, being a free agent, you're right, it normally works in your favour, doesn't it? But no one knew COVID was around the corner, did they? It was just, what was it like? Because, we'd lost quite a few players in the summer who have only just found clubs because, of course, that sort of side of it. How did it feel, Jen? Because obviously it's so difficult for everybody with their jobs and that. Were you just trying to wait, or was it, just hoping the phone would ring? It must have been a horrible experience.
I had a few things lined up, but obviously with what happened then, a few weeks go by, it goes quiet, and you're like, what's going on now then? Because we've almost discussed what terms I'd be on, blah, blah, blah. So, and then the phone would go quiet, so I'd be on to my agent saying, like, what's happening? And he'd be like, nothing's come back. So then someone else would come in the picture, and it just kept happening like that, really. And before you knew it, a few months had gone by, and it was almost panic stations, thinking, what's going to happen here? Like, where's my next club coming from? But luckily, like I said, Glyn rang me, worked with him before, and know what he's about, and he knows what I'm about, and the opportunity come. But it's tough out there, because I know a lot of lads, some close friends as well, who played League Two, League One, Championship, Premiership, still haven't got clubs. So I'm counting myself thankful and lucky that I'm in at a club, I'm training week in, week out, and I'm playing, which is brilliant, really. When you look at that side of things, it's not as easy as what people make it out to be, football.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Nick and I were discussing this on the podcast, actually, probably, I'm trying to think now, Nick, probably around just where the window was open, wasn't it? And we were saying, there's a lot of players that haven't found clubs and must be free agents. But to be honest with you, and we're not just saying it because, you're on a podcast, but when we obviously signed yourself, and then you look at your background, you sort of go, how the hell we got this on a free, how we got you on a free agent? It's just crazy, isn't it? So, for a player of your experience, and that sort of shows you the game, doesn't it, at the moment, that contracts are not easy to come by. So moving down to London, how have you found the sites?
London I'm enjoying it. Can't say I'm happy with the price of rent, but that's a different story down here. But no, I'm loving it, and it's just good to get out there after days after training, days off, whatever. Just going exploring and seeing what's around. And everyone I spoke to just told me how nice of an area South West London is, and I'm seeing that.
Yeah, don't rent in Wimbledon, especially not the ones near the ground.
It's steep, isn't it? It's very steep.
Whereabouts are you based then? Whereabouts are you staying? Have you bought somewhere? Are you renting? What's the situation?
No, I've rented a place in Battersea Reach.
Okay.
So, funny enough, my best mate lives here. So in the same building, and it's just worked perfect, really. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, nice place to be. And as you say, you've been here a few weeks there, and you mentioned it's nice to be back playing games and training. How much training have we managed to squeeze in over the past few weeks? Because it's been manic with game after game after game.
Yeah, it's literally been a hectic schedule, hasn't it? Well, I think a normal week's just been game, recovery, day off, recovery, game, just so on like that. So, but we're always obviously talking to each other, going through videos and stuff like that. So the lads are always switched on, and we know what we're coming up against, and what we've got to do to be better, and we'll analyse every game we've been through. So, but now saying that's a hectic period over Christmas, isn't it? So it'll probably just be the same, and you get the odd training session in, but it is good to get on the grass and walk through, i.e. the shape and the tactics of stuff. So that's good.
And talk about getting on the grass, new pitch at Plough Lane.
Yeah.
How's that felt?
The pitch is, honestly, the pitch is top class.
Yeah.
Top draw. So I just can't wait till fans can get back in.
Well,
like I say, I've not played in that long. It feels forever. So I can't wait to just get a bit of atmosphere in the grounds.
How does it change for you playing in this situation Stu and George have been lucky enough being going quite regularly this season as part of the media team. I was fortunate enough to be there on Saturday. Fortunate might not be the right word, given the result.
Might change that word.
Yeah. But what's it like for you, the experience of playing in, I guess after a while you do get used to it. I'm sure other members of the squad that have had it all season, probably second nature now. But if you coming in, do you feel a change in intensity or anything like that? Does it affect you in any way?
It's just the different atmosphere, obviously, with it being quiet. Or you can hear certain voices out there, but and the intensity is still there. Maybe the fans give you that extra push. I don't know, but I suppose when you just go out there, you just tunnel vision, like you see what you see on the pitch and everything else around you. It's almost blanked out. Apart from when you score a goal and you hear the roar and that's what you want. Or you kick one out of play and you get a bit of abuse. But apart from that, it's just, like I say, just tunnel vision, get out there and do the job.
I wouldn't expect you to expand on your answer, just a yes or no, but listeners will know what point I'm making here. Have you played at Milton Keynes in your career?
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Say no more.
I wonder where you were going with that question.
Do you know exactly where I was going with that question? But I can't make Ben. I can't expect Ben to make a comment on that issue of no fans in stadiums.
I was going to say very quickly, by the way, our friend Matt is very thankful you signed. By the way, he's been very fortunate when you score goals in terms of money. He was like, yeah, this he's going to score goals left, right, and centre. So he's very thankful. He wanted to say thank you.
No worries. Let's hope they continue.
He scored scored against Gillingham. In the defeat there. Scored again on Saturday against Bristol Rovers, that we touched on there, the defeat on Saturday. What were your thoughts about the Rovers game? I must say I was very impressed with Rovers on the day. I thought they were excellent, and I think they'd have probably beaten most teams the way they performed.
Yeah, they were a good side, and we knew that before going into the game. We knew what they were about. I think their position in the league's false. The new manager's got them playing some good stuff, got some good players. But I just think it come down to like lapse of concentration for us. It was just a frustrating day, and I think we could have scored a few more. They possibly could have got a few more. So I think more than anything, we watched the video back, discussed what went wrong, and that's just something to work on. Like, you'd love to go a season where you go unbeaten, you don't concede, but unfortunately these things happen sometimes when a team's on form like that, when they come to you and they play good football. Sometimes you just have to not accept it, but learn from it and understand how you can react to it if it was to happen again. Ways of shutting the door, really. So yeah, we've gone through it, and we know what to do next time if that ever was to happen. But our first thought is to go out and win every game. Like, with the squad we've got, we are a young squad, but there's a lot of ambition here, and I'm really looking forward to getting more games in. And like I say, they're coming thick and fast. So I think if we get a good run together, we need to get that back-to-back win, and then we can progress and we'll build on that. And I do think we've got a good chance this year.
And you talk about the players, so the quality that we've got in the squad. Was there anyone in the squad that you played with before, or anyone that you've come to know having joined the club that you weren't familiar with before that's really impressed you?
I've actually played with Alex Woodyard. We was at England C together. So I played a couple of games with him. But apart from that, I didn't really know any of the lads. But going off first impressions and stuff, obviously Pigs scoring goals for fun at the minute. So that's all that continues. Long is a threat. But like I say, Will, Terrell, there are just a lot of good players in this squad, and we've got a good group as well, like level-headed, and everyone's pushing each other on, which I think's a good atmosphere to have and a good changing room. So let's hope it stays like that. And like I say, we demand off each other, and if it means it's getting seated to get to where we want to be, so be it. Like, but we're just looking to be successful this year, really.
And with your goal, another player, the assist coming from Anthony Hartigan, who I'm sure has impressed you as well.
Yeah,
been here. We forget how young Anthony is still. With the goal in that scenario, set piece, free kick comes in. Is that something that you discuss beforehand, or you work on training if an opportunity like that presents itself, or is that something just in the moment it happens, and your experience sort of tells you kind of know where this ball is going to be aimed at, you know what run to make to get on the end of it?
Yeah, we always work on set pieces, corners, free kicks, whatever. But I've just got that mindset at the minute to just go and get my head on it. If I just watch the ball the whole way, and if I can get my head on it, or if anyone's in my way, I'll try and move them out the way and get one in, and hopefully I can get a good few more hopefully before January, and then by the season, like, we all have targets, and just want to keep pushing myself.
I was going to say, I have to say, when you signed, I looked back and saw obviously what you've done, and the ability in the air was crazy in that sort of sense of it. I found it amazing that you're all on your own in the area for the Bristol Rovers, because to be fair, you must be a threat because of your goal record. But there's quite a few sort of big lads in the team now, isn't there, with Will and stuff like that. So, do you think you're finding space that you need to?
Yeah, I think in that game I just ran off and without them even reacting to it. But like I say, with myself, Will, Terrell, Dan, Ollie, Pigs, there's a big lads. So I think we can ideally get a good few more goals from set plays, which I think we could be a threat with. Which obviously we'll do the work on the training field and take that into game. So I think that's a big bonus for us, really, which we can progress on and do a lot better with that.
Definitely. So a lot of away games, and you had the fortune to go to Barrow midweek, which I'd imagine from Manchester is not too bad, but from London is a ridiculous journey. That,
it was a long day for the lads.
Who's your rooming with in away games?
Well, obviously with how it's been at the minute, we all had our own rooms.
So you're lucky in that case.
In that sense, wherever I've been, I have always had my own room, because I just I don't want to disturb anyone if I get up in the middle of the night or whatever, or vice versa. So I do always just have my own space. So I need to actually mention that to the club, because
who have you found in the club? So a character in the club we all know is Ashley Bays. He's an absolute fruitcake. Who else have you sort of bonded with, or who are the jokers that you sort of found in the team?
There's a few lively lads in there. Seds, I don't think he's shut up since I've come yet. Pigs is vocal as well. So Woody, there's a good bunch. Got a good bit of banter about him. So nice.
Cool. forget that Steve Seddon actually joined us after the start of the season, didn't he, Stu? I forget it's because Seddon was with us on loan a couple of years ago, and then he rejoined in August, didn't he? 3 or 4 games into the season, and something about Wimbledon signing players in the season, them scoring on their first starts. I don't know what it is, but
and he played right back. He played right back against Arsenal as well. I was saying actually, it's really interesting. Actually, it's a good question actually, Ben. In terms of, have you played a 3-5-2 before, the way we play? Because we were commenting last night with Paul Ossie scoring last night. So we've literally got 4 of our 5 wing backs who've got goals already this season. Is it a system you played before?
Yeah, I've played that system. I obviously like playing in the middle. I think that suits me really. But I just think it gives you a better threat going forward, and you've got the security at the back. And I think you just got to be brave with it, to be honest. Push everyone on and leave the back free and say, right, basically it's your job, deal with it. Get one of the midfielders sitting in, and then with the quality we've got, we can be creating a lot of chances and scoring a lot of goals, which hopefully that comes into action.
And your career, your history, we touched on it a little bit earlier. You mentioned Glyn Hodges gave you a phone call before you joined. Worked with them at Stoke, is that correct?
Yeah, Stoke 23.
So how long were you working with him for?
It was just a year, really. He called me in my second year with a professional contract.
Okay.
So yeah, just that second year, and then I moved on from there and ended up at Chester.
Ended up in Chester in the National League.
Yeah, National League. Yeah,
National League. Chester is in Wales. Yes or no?
No. No.
One of those. It's like Shrewsbury. It's
Big
like it's kind of trying to push them over the border. Don't really want them, but yeah, no, they won't go. No.
Chester's a lovely place, Nick. I
don't think I've ever been to Chester.
Oh, Chester's a lovely.
I want to go to their stadium. I've never been.
Chester is an absolute. We went there for a wedding. It's an absolute. Did you stay in Chester? Because I'm just thinking about Wimbledon. Chester's a very a posh sort of like place, isn't it?
I didn't live there, and I drove in I had a car school who I was in, so it wasn't that bad, to be honest. It was half an hour, 40 minutes.
But Chester fans really, obviously, I hear they voted a goal he scored against Wrexham, wasn't it? Was that right?
Yeah, first
Welsh
goal.
derby.
Aye, 94th minute, first goal for the club. So
it's a way to introduce yourself, isn't it?
Brilliant, that. It actually was. I think I always get reminded. I think it's 22nd of September. I always get a little tag St Heneghan Day, so that'll live with me in the memory.
Let's remember that one. 22nd of September, St Heneghan Day. Right, okay. We'll remember that for next season.
Is that what we do? That's brilliant. It was a good goal, to be fair. And what is the rivalry like up there in terms of Chester Wrexham? Is it quite heated? Is it?
Yeah, the hatred. So yeah, it was brilliant to get that packed stadium as well. I think they bubble the games, so they can't have that many fans there because obviously it kicks off. So to have a packed house there, it was good, very good.
And you'd come from an academy background, Everton, Stoke, then a consistent. Did you go to Droylsden? I've got that right. Did you spend a couple of games there?
Yeah. So basically, when I was in the final year of my contract at Stoke, obviously Glenn allowed me to go and get some first team games at Droylsden. Played 3 or 4 games. I think when I went, they were bottom of the league and did not win a game. And I'm sure my first game we won. So they didn't have many fans at the time. I think there was about 4 fans behind the goal. But they was obviously jumping up and down and met me in the clubhouse. So, but I was just good to go out there and get first team games, and then from there on, I had a few trials. It's almost like this, really. It's like a few trials, nothing come of it, and then I got in at Chester, and thankfully they gave me the opportunity. So I owe that club a lot. I'm very grateful for it because I've seen lads drift out of the game from not being given the chance. So they spotted my potential, if you like, and gave me that chance. Actually put me right back starting off, so it was a bit... I don't know if I put it on my CV, that was a right back, just to get more options. It kind of put me there. I actually scored quite a few goals that first year from playing right back, but then once my opportunity came at centre back, I took that with 2 hands. That's me. I'm staying in there now.
And then a move up to Motherwell.
Yeah, I got the move to Motherwell. I loved it up there. Brilliant. And like I say, the SBL, your big games, Rangers, Celtic, all the 50,000 fans. It's brilliant. The atmosphere. So to get that experience under my belt was top draw, really, and really enjoyed it up there. Great club.
And you scored a goal against Rangers. Sorry, Nick, you scored a goal against Rangers.
Yeah, I finally got my goal. I don't know, for some reason I didn't score for ages. So to actually get my head on one, especially against Rangers, it was on telly as well, I think, that one. So that was a special moment as well.
What do you learn from these different experiences? National League in England, Scottish Premier League, different types of football, different styles of football. How do they help your development? What do you learn? What different bits of the game do you learn, and what are the differences in the way football's played at those levels?
Going up to Scotland, the tempo was a bit quicker. What I found myself adapting to that straight away, in a sense. And then I was playing alongside players like Stephen McManus, who played for Celtic.
Yeah.
So to play next to him and learn off him, that was brilliant for my development. So it's almost like hopefully I can do that in the future for other players.
Mm-hmm.
It was class. It was really good.
I was going to say, actually, although you're new to the club, in terms of experience, probably, I would say probably our most experienced centre half now, actually, if I get that right, Stu. If you think about it in terms of games played.
We've got nobody over 30, have we? So,
no.
Yeah, you're probably one of the oldest at 27, which is crazy, isn't
it? Yeah.
It makes me feel old, that. Don't say that.
Well, do you know what? To make you feel old, I was just looking at how old you were and stuff, and I just thought I'd be nosy and thought, 1 second, born in 93, who did Wimbledon play that day in 93? And I wish I never looked. It made me feel... we won 1-0 against Man City at Selhurst with a Robbie Earl goal. Wimbledon finished 6th in that season. Really? If you're Manchester, are you a City or United?
I'm United. Yeah,
okay.
United.
No doubt of that.
We're having a difficult time at the minute, if you like.
It's quite funny. One of our colleagues, Aaron Paul, who works for BBC Radio 5, I noticed his tweet last night. He was like, I really like Thursdays now. I was like, what are you going on about?
Nah, it's out of with that.
It's a bit of a transition time, I think. It's fair to say. But actually, the game that Stu referenced just then, United went on to win the league that season. Went on to do the double. Oh, yeah. Hammered Chelsea 4-0 in the FA Cup final. And for us Wimbledon fans, absolutely devastated to see Chelsea get embarrassed in such a big game. Mortified for them. Was that
Cantona, was it? Would that have been
the two penalties, yeah.
Yeah. It's really worrying when I remember games like God knows how many years ago, and I can't remember last season. It's really weird with that.
Yeah, it is strange how. But then when you're younger, these tend to stay in your memory for longer, don't they? And then as you get older, other things take over. So Man United, did you go and watch Man United when you were younger? Did you get up to see them often?
I had a season ticket for a year, but with obviously my schedule at Everton at the time, we kept missing games and stuff, or we'd get there late, they won't let you in, stuff like that. So it wasn't practical, really. And then Sky Plus come around so you could record it and rewind it and watch back. So
and watch it as much as you like, I imagine. So what was your knowledge of Wimbledon then before you joined them? Because as Stu says, we finished 6th in the Premier League that season, the year you were born. Mm-hmm. But I assume your first memories of us would be as AFC Wimbledon, I guess, not so much Wimbledon FC.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I would say so, yeah.
What's the view of a club like Blackpool, for example? Are we particularly a known name to them? Do they factor into our thinking, or are we just another club?
I suppose everyone's like a relatively big club whenever you're playing against anyone. You've always got to do your homework on and expect them to be better than you that day. So yeah, I'd say everyone's a threat. Like if you look at this league now, anyone could go up. Anyone's got the potential to go up. It proved it last year with Wickham going up. So that I'd say that almost give belief to a lot more clubs.
Yeah, I was saying actually, wasn't I, Nick? I was saying, Wickham can go up, and Wickham, to be fair, obviously Bayo, I can Ben. Have you ever come across Bayo, by the way?
Yeah, I've had a good few battles with him.
It's actually interesting. Will Nightingale played against Bayo for Wickham. Sorry, when Bayo was at Wickham, and actually done a number on Bayo. It was if like, I think it was Will. I think Will likes a battle, likes a centre, likes a centre forward up against him. And Bayo that day, I don't know if he just felt sorry for us, but didn't play great. But he's a handful, isn't he?
Oh, is he? He is a handful. I think it was my first game I played for Blackpool away at Wickham, and we both jumped for the ball. I've landed on the floor, and lo and behold, he's just absolutely landed on me. And I was like, "Welcome to League One, Ben." I was like, "This is the battle, yeah."
See, when Bayo played for us, especially when he played for us against Wickham, he would have very little joy against them because Wickham have a way of, shall we say, managing the game. Let's just put it politely. Did you find they had a style that worked for them when you played against them?
Yeah. I'd say it works in my favour as well because that's my game. Go on, Eddie.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
You're up for the challenge of that one.
Yeah, literally pots and pans, everything was thrown in there. Let's put it that way.
And you mentioned any team can go up this season, but is there anyone in League One at the moment that you particularly think stand out as promotion contenders? Or are we looking at the big club, the big group of clubs like Sunderland, Ipswich, Hull, or is there anyone else in the mix, you think?
AFC Wimbledon.
Of course.
Good answer.
There we go. Good answer. Perfect answer. Right. We had one other. Sorry, I tell you what. I did have one other question that Mark Hendricks, who collaborates with us on the podcast. I can't find it, Stu. But essentially, he was asking, is there any player? I was trying to get up on my screen, it just wouldn't come up. Is there any centre half or it doesn't have to be a centre half, but any footballer throughout history that if you could play alongside, you would absolutely love to?
Well, I think you've got these standout candidates of like Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, Terry. Or to play alongside any of them, that would be. And then Puyol.
Oh, yeah.
Warrior. So, yeah, someone like that.
Yeah,
Terry Phelan, you mean? Surely there's no other centre half.
Yeah, no, I can't
Terry.
that, can I really? No, you should have given me a little nudge there.
No, that's fine. You could
stick with my United ones.
There we go. The Vidiches and
you've got hair like George. Puyol, I've been to Barcelona quite a few times. I love Barcelona. And Puyol, when he had that hair, like the proper mop hair, proper leader, wasn't he? Is that what you sort of base? Because I noticed, we've been fortunate enough to be at the games, and I noticed you're quite vocal because of course you can hear that, that sort of side of it. Yeah. So is that, because it's interesting when you say you're 27, we've got a lot of young centre halves. So we've got Paul Cannon-Baye, in there, who's got Andy Hartigan, Jack Rodoni. So you were saying a bit earlier that you actually, you've done well playing with other centre halves with experience. Do you feel that's a little bit of your role as well to give that experience to them?
Yeah, definitely. I'd always try and encourage, especially the younger players. You want them to excel and do well for themselves. So if I can help in any way, shape, or form, whether that's on the pitch, off the pitch, little chats, whatever it takes, I'll do that, because at the end of the day, everyone just wants to see each other do well, and everyone wants to just play football. So I've got to take that responsibility on my shoulders, which I will, and I want to lead this team. Yeah, that's what I've come here to do. I want to be a leader and help, and I want to win something. I want to be successful. So every bit of leadership qualities I can bring, I'll do that.
To be fair with Paul Cannon-Baye, I said to George beginning of the season, he was big last year. He's an absolute, for his age, he's ridiculous, isn't it?
He's beautiful. It works. It works in his favour, doesn't it? So
yeah,
he's a big, powerful lad, and he's a good footballer.
Away from football, what sort of things do you like to get up to? What are your interests?
Away from football, a minute. I'm always in the gym, and then I love a coffee. So I'll go and explore the areas. Go and sit down. Like today, for instance, I was in Wimbledon Village. I don't even know what the place was called, to be honest. I sat at the roundabout, just with my mate, people watching, and just to get used to the area and know what it's all about. And so I've got my hands full because there's plenty of coffee shops around. So I'll be exploring for the whole time I'm here.
Yeah,
Wimbledon's a mad place, isn't it? I was just going to say Wimbledon's a mad place because if if you go to Wimbledon town centre, it's posh. It's nice. If you go up the hill, it's even posher.
Oh, yeah. It's lovely, that.
You know, because you got Dog Fox and the roundabout and stuff like that. Obviously, you got Wimbledon tennis there as well. So, it's really weird. Wimbledon, if you go up the hill, it's just a different life up there on that sort of side.
And then you've got the Richmond and all stuff like that. So, like I said, I've just been driving out, getting out there, seeing the place, and it's lovely.
Yeah, very nice part of the world. You say coffee, not tea? No, you're not a tea man, or is it definitely coffee?
I like a bit of both.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm open to anything.
How do you make a cup of tea up in Manchester? How's it done properly? You put the milk in the mug with the tea bag?
You don't put the milk in first. That's like, no. That's frowned upon. Like, you can't do that.
You can't...
No. Get the tea bag in, get your water in, let it brew for a bit, then you add your milk.
Correct, 100%.
After the tea bag has come out.
After the tea bag has come out. Indeed, perfect. Happy days. We can actually welcome you to the club officially now.
We asked that question on the podcast, and everyone got it right, because it was a right answer, there's a wrong answer. Apart from James Shea, who now is at Luton. And James was distraught when he realised he got the wrong answer. He got absolutely hammered by his colleagues. And he'd come back to a game and he come up to us and sort of saying, "Can we re-record it? Can we do another one?" And we're like, "Nah."
Once you've made that mistake, you stuck with it.
But you've got to kind of own it. Other things we sort of wanted to ask you about then, away from football. Well, for a start, actually, Netflix. Anything you've been watching on that at all? You a TV watcher, film goer, anything like
that? Netflix at the minute. I've been watching Suits, so getting on with that, which is decent.
Yeah,
and just the usual. Footy's on every week. Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays as well. Fridays, Mondays. It's every day, isn't it? Football now.
Every game.
So, whenever that's on, that'll be on the telly. And just Netflix, scroll through, see what I like, documentaries, stuff like
that. How are you finding watching the games behind closed doors? With the artificial noise and that. How do you find that?
It's not great, is it? It's not the best, but I'm just happy the football's on, to be honest. Because when it weren't for a while, that was like torture. So now it's back on. It's good, but sooner the fans get in, the better. And I mean, bullying, packed stadiums. That's what we need.
Yeah.
How have you found Plough Lane? Because obviously, every time we go there, it feels like something else is being done. It's a nice ground, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice. Like I said before, the pitch is top draw. So I hope it stays like that. And I say we just can't wait till the fans get in, get a bit of atmosphere. And it gets that buzz around the place, doesn't it? Because obviously, it's been a long wait for the fans to get back in there. So it'll be a special day when everyone's in. And
of course, you've got the safe standing as well behind the goal, which looks quite impressive. Yeah, it looks quite impressive in that. We actually interviewed the head groundsman at Wimbledon before the Peterborough game, and I stupidly asked him about the pitch, and he definitely loves his pitch.
Yeah. Most groundsmen do. They get offended. If you walk on that little corner, you stare at a voice, "Get off!"
It's not for the pitchfork, yeah.
Well, I sort of said to him, I said, "Will you get divots in this pitch?" And he gave me a look as if like, "Not on this pitch."
Oh. No. You just leave them to the job. Headphones in, lawnmower, leave them.
What about, Stu's mentioned the crowds at football, watching on TV without crowds at stadiums, Premier League games, VAR. Where do you stand on that?
Just ruining the game. It is ridiculous, isn't it? For a defender's point of view, when someone's offside because the big toe's off, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
But overall, it's you score a goal and you've got to wait 3 minutes before really you can celebrate. So it's just killing it. It's not for me.
How do you find a new handball rule now? Because it's like a lot of defenders now, definitely in the Premier League, have sort of defended with their arms behind their back as if it's not a natural. Have you had to adapt your game? Because I noticed actually that Joe Pigott claims a lot for handballs, if because there's been some soft penalties in the Premier League, isn't it?
Oh.
Has it changed your way of defending? Are you more frightened now to keep your arms? Do you know what I mean?
I think as a footballer, I don't think anyone knows what that rule is because it seems to change every week anyway. So, as much as you defend, if you're going to throw yourself in front of the ball for a block, you can't determine your hands are going to go right behind you or anything. Like, I think it's just unfortunate, especially if it's by your side and it hits you and they're giving them the pen. That's like, come on, man, the game's going now if that's happening. Like, it's ridiculous. And then someone can smash it from 5 yards away and it hits your hand by your side and it's a pen. What are you supposed to do? How are you getting out? How are you getting out of the way of that? So I just think it's a bit farce at the minute.
Yeah, I must say, I think I'm glad we don't have it in League One on that side of it.
No. Even with tackling now, like, you can't even put a proper solid tackling now, can you?
Do you know what? It's fun actually. I don't know if you do. I was on YouTube last night because I'd come back from the game and I can't switch off, and it came up with Vinnie Jones tackles against Cantona. And there was one game. Do you remember when they wore you all remember this, Nick, when they wore the yellow and green halves?
Yeah, the FA Cup. The FA
I really
Cup
like
game,
it. Yeah, I really like it. And Vinny literally took Cantona out literally waist height.
Yeah.
And you just think nowadays you can't touch anybody, can you?
Oh, you'd be banned for the season if you did that, no?
Yeah, this particular challenge, yes, you would be. It was obscene, really, by today's standards.
You just have to save them for training if someone like
If Ollie Palmer's winding up a little bit, just be like, bang, take him out, done. Thank you very much, Ben. Just to finish up then, a few random questions to ask you. Christmas.
Yes.
Do decorations go up for you yet?
I literally put my tree up today, but
okay.
I've no lights or anything. So, yeah, kind of forgot about them.
I was going to say, is November too early for Christmas decorations?
Yes.
Yeah. Mince pies. When do you start into mince pies? When are they allowed?
I think it's just a Christmas thing. Yeah, it's December.
Yeah. I know all these things. Well, I'm told Stu's wife tells us before we start recording, Easter eggs are on sale already in Tesco.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, apparently so. We're not even hit Christmas.
That's ridiculous.
Well, to be fair, I've got my Christmas tree up, and my son, who's 2.5, decided to destroy it. So it's no longer a Christmas tree. So, and I know Nick you've got to grind about Christmas trees. I know that's what when you ask that question, you don't want a Christmas tree up too early, do you?
No, it's around about now. I'd say, like the second week of December is when you've got to start thinking about these things. Christmas dinner then, is it usual for you? Turkey, everything, trimmings, sprouts.
Yeah. Well, when we're not in training or staying over in a hotel, yeah, you like to get a full one in. But I suppose as a footballer, it's a rare occasion, though.
What is it? So is that actually a thing? Is that turkey is not allowed on Christmas Day if you've got a Boxing Day game?
Turkey and that, but you can't have your big Yorkshire puddings and all that. Well, okay. I'm guessing some people will, but you can eat too much, can't you, and be a bit the day after. So, because once you start, you're not stopping, are you? So.
This is very true. Once you get the kids and blankets out.
We have a local game as well, to be fair. We're quite lucky, Oxford United away on Boxing Day, so not a big journey.
That's all right, isn't it?
By local, is this a Portsmouth Plymouth thing? What do you describe as local, Stu? What's local in your book?
But it's not Barrow, is it? It's not like we've got to stay overnight.
No, it's
that side of it. We have this conversation.
What would Oxford do? Good hour and a half from here?
Yeah. Maybe 2 if we have to stick to motorway speed limits.
We have this, Ben. We have this discussion. I class Pompey Plymouth as a derby, the Docklands derby. It's called.
Yeah.
But these lot absolutely slaughter me on it
because they're nowhere near each other. I mean, that's why. It's like saying Newcastle Man United is a derby. No, it's not.
The Portsmouth Southampton, that wasn't it?
That is the big one. Yeah,
the big one.
Yeah. But yeah, Stu and his geography. Say no more. Final question, Ben. When you make a sandwich, so maybe after you've had your turkey on Christmas Day and you're just having some sandwiches in the evening as a light snack, do you put margarine or butter on both slices of bread or just one slice of bread in the sandwich?
Ooh, good question. I think it's got to go on both, to be honest.
Well, well, that's what we always thought. We just assumed that's what everyone did. But apparently no. Apparently some people just do it on one and leave the other slice
one
dry.
Finger up, like she only does one slice of bread.
You have a dry slice of bread?
Can't do that. You've got to get up flavouring, haven't you?
You've got to have a bit of moisture as well, yeah. Oh, well.
random people around.
Takes all sorts. Some people support Watford, so Anyway, right, Ben. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
No, not at all. Anytime, and all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Let's hope it's a successful one.
And starting with a big game on Saturday, I think, where fans might actually be in the stadium at the Valley.
Yeah. Brilliant. Can't wait for it.